Bluebelt is the UK's leading marine conservation programme. We're working with a number of the UK overseas territories, helping to protect and manage over 4 million square kilometres of the ocean. Most of this is totally unexplored.
Big ocean-going research expeditions like Beyond the Reef are a fantastic opportunity to move that needle in terms of our scientific understanding of these environments.
This expedition is the first of its kind for the Cayman Islands and probably, the wider Caribbean, because OT personnel are put in the driver's seat. So really it's been absolutely unique in that respect that we've been able to not only plan it, manage it, co-create it and take this collaborative approach, but we're also going to be able to have the support from beginning to end to ensure that effective management and monitoring is put into practice through the findings of this expedition.
Over the last 10 years, the programme's worked with many of the UK overseas territories to explore, study and protect the ocean through 10 major expeditions like this one.
Quite often, work that happens around the islands in the overseas territories rely on small boat work. They're limited in their ability to go a certain amount of distance offshore, whereas if we have a really concerted effort over the course of 10, 12 days, 24-hour ship operations, collecting a load of data, big data helps us answer the big questions about how we ensure sustainable oceans.
I think it's easy to forget that most of the UK's biodiversity is found on the land and in the waters of UK overseas territories. When we think of things like overfishing, when we think of pollution incidents, and just our lack of knowledge of some of the creatures that live in the waters, how that feeds into fisheries, how it feeds into conservation strategies, it feeds into marine management plans. It's only through on the ground or on the sea, I guess, research expeditions like this. We're sampling the water chemistry, we're getting a better idea of the ecosystems. You need this kind of all-encompassing research plans to get an idea and to really plan for the future.
Beyond the Reef is Bluebelt's first expedition to the Caribbean. We're working with the governments of Anguilla, Turks and Caicos Islands and the Cayman Islands to study those deeper and offshore regions of their waters that in many cases have never been studied before.
So much like other small island developing states and other UK overseas territories, the wider Caribbean has a great deal of challenges that are facing our current marine environment, including ocean acidification,
warming seas,
stony coral tissue loss disease,
water quality,
foreign poaching or illegal fishing,
pollution,
bleaching of our corals. We're not the ones steering that change in the environment, but we are the ones that are most affected by it.
Research vessels are crucial in helping us to explore our offshore resources, and currently we don't have the capacity to do that by ourselves. This expedition has been a great opportunity for us to venture beyond that.
The representatives from the overseas territories are leading the work. We're here to help facilitate that work. So we brought a really great ocean-going research vessel with us. We bring with us some expertise to help support those goals, but fundamentally it's the overseas territories themselves that direct the science. It's their research priorities that we're trying to support. It's their marine environment, it's their oceans, but it's really working with the overseas territories themselves to try and support them in supporting their oceans.
The Turks and Caicos Islands are a small island state. Our biggest resource for exploitation is our sea. On the ship, my focus has been working on the classification and characterization of some of the deep sea habitats using the towed camera systems. And after we've got our biological samples into our controlled temperature lab, and I've been involved in sorting some of those specimens. Monsters of the deep that you'd see in movies or documentaries, but now I've actually got them in my hand.
On the ship, I am involved with the CTD, which is the water quality monitoring, which is one of the new areas that the laboratory wants to start looking into.
The CTD stands for conductivity, temperature and depth. So there's a lot of information that we can pull from this CTD.
The CTD normally goes down late, assemble all hands as much as necessary because it's a lot of water samples. And we're filtering the water looking for different metrics like chlorophyll, HPLCs, particulate organic matter. And those are important things for us to know.
As well as that, something that's really interesting is that we're looking at the microplastics. That's really going to tell us about how much plastics is being polluted further down into these deeper ecosystems and whether or not this is going to be a problem. We can also look at eDNA, discover what kind of marine species are in the area. So I think it's important to get this baseline data, is that you get that idea of what the environment currently looks like. So this will help us to decide what needs to be done on an island level when it comes to monitoring pollution or water quality.
We can't manage ourselves until we know what we have. And so this is giving us that information, so we have at least the opportunity to make informed management decisions.
Anguilla is a very coastal island. A lot of our culture surrounds it. So my connection with the sea started really young, and I don't think it can die really. It's too embedded in my system. So during the Beyond the Reef expedition, I've been able to take part in all of the research happening, but I focus mainly on the mid-water trawls.
So predominantly, I've been doing a lot of the hydrographic work, so that involves the multi-beaming, using sonar to map the seafloor. I've also been doing a little bit of the camera work and some of the CTD work. So I've been trying to dip my hand in everything.
I've been working with the government of Anguilla for the last 3 years now, since they joined the Blue Belt programme. We've been working on a number of different pieces of work around fisheries management, marine spatial planning, and we were really lacking evidence of the different habitats and species that are out in the offshore waters. So this expedition's come at a really good time to then help support the work going forward over the next few years.
We've wanted to map the seafloor to get more accurate information than the satellite would provide. It's imperative that we have this knowledge and this skill set. I think for sure this trip is super impactful on the blue economy of Anguilla, because what we've been discussing really is to find that balance between preservation and profit. We can also think about ways to preserve the habitats that we have while still allowing for fishing. We can start to think about expanding the fisheries economy. We can start to talk about, blue tourism, things like that. So I think this has been really impactful. I think this has been really, really educational, and it leads to, really good informed decisions on the government.
The data that we collect will inform how we move forward. Having the knowledge of biodiversity as well as the different ecosystems in our offshore environments will play a crucial role in how we develop our legislation in the future.
So our priorities for the expedition, really this focuses on water quality, this focuses on sustainable fisheries management, but focusing on this offshore deep sea area, which we haven't really had the chance to explore.
One of the biggest challenges Cayman's waters are facing is this stony coral tissue loss disease, which is quite devastating, and we've seen a massive die-off. So the Beyond the Reef expedition has shown us that these susceptible and almost extinct corals exist on these banks. So it'd be amazing to see how that might play into coral spawning and how that larvae may return and potentially repopulate those lost corals.
The long-term impact of this expedition really is this baseline data. It's the first of its kind. This expedition also features 2 of our own scientists that are doing the first seabird surveys for the offshore environment in the Cayman Islands. So really the information on the habitats and the species and the overarching biodiversity that we have in our offshore and in our deep sea will feed directly into species conservation plans and pelagic fisheries management and monitoring. It's really kind of highlighted the fact that our biodiversity is much richer than I had anticipated.
The expedition's been really full on. Over the past 40 or so days, we've mapped nearly 25,000 square kilometres of the ocean. We've sampled 15,000 litres of seawater. We've collected observations of the seafloor down to 3,000 metres and collected around 14,000 specimens, some of which have never been seen in the Caribbean. You can't protect the ocean if you don't know what's in it. And we're really taking some big strides towards understanding the breadth of the different habitats and the different species that live in these waters.
Having a larger vessel enables us to reach deeper waters and have 24 hours operations.
The James Cook has been the key to all of the research that we've been able to do. We've been fortunate to be able to take more of a holistic, whole ecosystem approach to the research that we've been doing, and it wouldn't have been possible without the equipment and also the expertise on board. This is the opportunity to be able to improve that capacity, to improve that understanding that we have beyond the reef.
I have to say it's exciting. As a kid, I would watch it on TV, Nat Geo. I would see all the science, and I would always want to be on these expedition vessels. And I never thought it to be possible, to be honest with you. But I guess today that proves me wrong. I'm on a vessel, James Cook, all the way from the UK. And I hope it's not the last time.
The exchange of information goes both ways. So we've got scientists that have various expertise, from seabed environments to water quality experts to acousticians that will map seabeds. But fundamentally, the local knowledge is held within the overseas territories themselves. So speaking personally, my area of expertise, it's polar waters. I work in the Antarctic a lot. So when it comes to looking at seabed environment and seabed animals, I'm 100% going to be relying on some of the expertise and the knowledge from the representatives from the overseas territories themselves to teach us about their marine ecosystems.
I think it's very easy to think that in the days of using ROVs, in collecting data using drones, which are of course very valuable tools, that maybe expeditions like this aren't needed. They're very people heavy, they're very resource heavy, but the kind of work we do, it can really only be done in person and on expeditions like this. For me, the benefits of expeditions like this, the results, and the fact that these will be shared globally as an important scientific resource is just invaluable.
Every time we put a camera down on the seabed, you have that feeling where you're likely to be the first human beings to ever see this. When we start seeing, the riot of colour and diversity of a mesophotic reef, when you're not quite expecting it, the feeling is incredible.
It's just phenomenal what we've actually seen in this relatively short period of time. And you know that what we're finding is going to help and it's going to make a difference. And that is just everything any fishery scientist wants to do. And the knock-on from this will be felt for a long time.
The Beyond the Reef expedition has given me a lot of hope. There's a lot of doom and gloom out there about coral reefs in general and the ocean in general. But I think there's a lot of opportunity, and this just shows that not everything is degraded, and there's a lot going on that we haven't seen.
So one of the things that this information will bring towards the residents of Turks and Caicos Island is an understanding and stepping stone towards the long-term plan for sustainability that the Turks and Caicos is on. We are all one ocean, we're all one world.
Expeditions like this make me realise that I do have hope for the future of the oceans. Seeing the biodiversity, seeing the healthy ecosystems in the waters around this really makes me understand that if humanity come together and actually protect and plan for the future of the oceans, then there is hope.
I think the opportunity to collaborate with so many scientists and researchers from both the UK and the overseas territories has been a fantastic opportunity. We were able to present what our priorities as an island is and match it up with the capacity that Bluebelt has offered us. To kind of have a more comprehensive understanding has been a great opportunity, both individually as a nation, but also as an overseas territory and as a part of the Caribbean in our connectivity.
For me, one of the most positive things about the expedition is having been able to work in those kind of deeper, further offshore regions. We've uncovered areas of kind of biodiversity refuges where the impacts of overfishing or climate change or disease are not being seen. And some of the evidence we've collected has been a real huge step forward in terms of helping us design conservation strategies for the future. The Caribbean's known worldwide for its shallow marine biodiversity as one of the great hotspots of the world, but expeditions like this one just goes to show that there is so much more to life beyond the reef.